Hey guys, welcome to Evolving Spiritually. My name is Kayla, and if this is your first time checking out my channel, hello and welcome. If you guys are returning, what's up? We are here for another intuitive therapy session where I use my intuition and the cards to go beneath the surface and figure out what's going on energetically, but also help you find ways and solutions to move forward. So, if you would like to check out more content from me, you can always head over to patreon.com/evolving into more. Over there, I upload 2 to 3 additional readings per week. I do want you guys to know that it does not matter what day you sign up on Patreon. Moving forward, you will only get charged on that day. So it won't start over on the 1st. You will get charged on the day that you sign up. Okay. As far as private readings, I do want to announce that I will be having a sale for the end of the year where I'm taking $20 off all private sessions. So if you like to book for now to the end of the year, you can head over to evolvingintomore.com. All right, guys, jumping into it today. This may not be as long as the sessions usually are, but it's because I did just upload a previous reading maybe like 2 days ago. And when I get that close in readings, not that much has changed energetically, maybe just a different way or perspective of seeing or understanding something. So we're going to touch on our keywords with our trigger statements for my newbies. This is a self-focused section where we look into you, right? And then we'll get in the cards and then finish with an oracle. So our first keyword today is letting go. So the trigger statement for letting go says, this is not the way it is supposed to be. While the true statement is, I am free. The message behind letting go says, lift up your burdens and allow the divine to free you from them. Allow yourself to be cleansed of anything that is weighing you down. So in our last reading, maybe the last 2 readings, we've been talking heavily about understanding that everything does happen for a reason. And we may not understand those reasons right in the moment or right when we feel like we should. But eventually, as we move forward, heal, and grow, we come into the understanding and the knowing. As long as you're looping and staying in the same shit, it's really not ever going to make sense, right? So there is something that you have moved away from, whether you wanted to or you were forced to do it, right? Been there, done that on both ends. It sucks. And it's been a grieving process. And I'm right there with you. So I feel you. But letting go and forgiving kind of comes in a different way this time around. You know? I've been speaking about this on my Instagram where, well, I haven't personally been speaking, but I've been posting stuff related to it, but a lot of people, narcissists and low vibrational, people who are just not in the energy of morally being a good person or making the right choices, they see forgiveness as like water under the bridge and continuing on in the connection or the relationship without like any sort of responsibility or accountability around things. You know how people want to come back and they just want to pick things up and keep them going as if like there wasn't real trauma or damage caused. And I've been, again, on both sides of that. I've been the one being damaged and I've been the one doing damage, not in a romantic sense, but I had a friendship that I did, end up traumatizing someone within that because of my lack of communicating, but that's something that we speak on consistently. But I think that is what is needed in order to build the trust around salvaging a foundation, a connection, or a relationship with someone. At that time, and I'm telling you this because I want you to understand circumstances that are acceptable for you to take back and ones that are not. Okay. So in this case, damage was done on my part because I did not communicate. I went MIA. But it wasn't just a personal thing. Like, I went out MIA to everyone. When I came into growing, evolving spiritually, and reading tarot and going through the divorce and Kaylee's, abuse, it was just disconnecting from everything that I knew and coming into who I was becoming at that moment. And pretty much everyone got X'd out of that part of my life. And again, I was not considerate in that moment of the people that were supporting me, loving me, and valuing me in an unconditional way. And that friend just happened to be thrown in the mix of everyone else. And I'm, again, speaking on this because it is a connection that we were able to salvage by communicating the truth around like what was really going on. For me to know how much I really hurt and traumatized, that person really made me look at myself. But it's also understanding the balance of it. And at the end of the day, it was more about me doing what I needed to do to take care of me and make sure that I was good. So pulling away and disconnecting from everyone at that time was the best and healthiest decision that I could have made. And gratefully, I have a friend who understands that and who values the fact that I needed to do and take care of me in that moment. And no one at that time could really help me because I was going through and experiencing things that, these people were not even capable of perceiving, So salvaging a connection, whether romantic or platonic, with someone really depends on the circumstances. And in that case, when I went back to communicate and apologize years later, it was really no expectation of her even communicating back with me or giving me another opportunity to be a part of her life. I just wanted to take accountability and responsibility on my end. And again, thankfully, she was in a place of being able to understand. We just spoke about this the other day because she felt as if she had not been in a place of healing and getting to know herself better. That conversation would have went a whole different way. She probably would have said, cussed me out or blocked me or, things happen when they are supposed to. Okay. But that is just one example of something that can be salvaged because there was no personal hidden motive, or there was no vindictiveness or evilness. It was just we ended up growing apart or separating at that time, and I didn't know how to communicate and just be upfront. Okay. But in other terms, the relationships and the connections that are not salvageable are going to be the ones that would still be affecting you in this present moment or taking away from your fulfillment or the support that you need. Within that connection, that friendship I have, we are pouring into each other in ways that are more mature to who we are in this present moment, not who we were back in college. I'm married, she's married, we have our own lives, we have our own understanding, but we have a clear line of communication, which has over the years rebuilt the trust, and now the foundation is solid. But if you're dealing with people who have already broken that trust and betrayed you and done things that you would have never done to them, you owe it to yourself to move forward in a different direction that continues to bring you growth, especially if you've been apart from this person or this situation and your life has done nothing but beautifully grow, and you don't feel as if there's anything missing in a sense. What value would people add back into your life? That is the question to really think on. And again, also understand that in this moment, it may not make sense, but you have to be present enough to see how it is affecting or how it could or would affect what you are currently building, growing, and moving into, because you are getting ready to really take off into a lot of opportunity. And a lot of people and things, as we've been saying for the last few months, they cannot go. They need to go their own way and slow down their own path. And, like, everybody has to be accountable and responsible for themselves. And when I was speaking on like the narcissistic or low vibrational energy, not to be cliche around those terms, but those people look at forgiveness, again, as taking back, when honestly, forgiveness is something that is done for self, for oneself. Me forgiving you does not mean that I owe you a relationship, a connection, even communication. Again, through my example of salvaging that friendship, I had no expectation of her even allowing me back in her life. She could have just been like, okay, thank you, I really appreciate it, and kept it kicking. And I would have been fine with that, because on my end, I wasn't doing it to get something back in return. I was doing it because I genuinely cannot sit up here and teach and tell people how to morally be right and do the right thing and communicate and be healthy if I wasn't doing it. I'm definitely a person of practicing what I preach. I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all to do something that I'm not doing in real life. And so when I had to sit down and check myself, that's what it came back to. And I had to own up, and it sucked because I'm not used to being the bad person. Like, I don't purposely go around hurting people. But to know that something I did cause an effect like that on a person who did not deserve it, understand it, and then blame themselves for it for years, that's not anything I'm proud of, right? But again, the balance is my motives behind it. It wasn't to hurt her. It wasn't to, it wasn't even anything personal. When she came back and asked me why, I was like, honestly, I don't even think you did anything. It's just the period and transition of my life. So I don't know who I'm talking to, but if someone's not coming back in a healthier way than they left before, it's going to be a no. It's something for a person to go off and better themselves and like become healthier and make different choices and be in a different place in their life. But to come back and be in the same place or even worse, it's going to be a no, because that's going to be a burden, a heaviness, and a weight that you don't need to or have to carry. The choice and the power within all of this is what you want and what you choose. And again, not letting anybody sit here and tell you that forgiveness means or equals taking a person back or allowing them back into your life. If you want to, set the boundaries, set the limitations and the restrictions, and see who respects it and see who doesn't. Because, salvaging connections is something that's going to take time to rebuild. If you jump back into something, again, the healing process is not there. But really taking your time and getting to see what this is, who this is, and what it's about, and how it's really going to serve you, that's going to really put you in a place of knowing who to let go, how to let go, and why you have to let it go. At some point, you will understand the why. For years, I was getting readings, I was getting messages of like, so-and-so and this person is not good. Okay, my parents. And it's just like, that was something hard to accept. And I mean, like 3 years, the warnings and the signs and the signals, they were there. But I kept like pushing against it and resisting it until like it got to the point where they crossed the line that made me have no other choice but to put the blockers on, create the distance between the two. Because when you come into this place of overstepping boundaries to where you're trying to like put somebody in harm or be evil and vindictive and really just morally not do what's right, I don't bang with you. I don't hang with you. I don't care who you are. And that's something else I kind of want to roll into is allowing people to be who they are. You don't need to go and like tell nobody who this person is or try to like expose nobody, because people will genuinely, authentically, just naturally show who they truly are within. And I know that there may be times that we feel like we're saving the next person or helping someone out, but the truth is, like, those people, they don't care in that moment, because they're attracted to whatever that person is doing, giving, being, or whatever. And you coming and trying to tell somebody about, like, it's not even worth it. Because one, you're going to have disappointment when you find out that person does not care, because they consider you the ops. So why would they even, take heed to what you're saying? I've been there, done that. Okay. I genuinely went and communicated to the one that came after me and let her know, like, hey, just giving you a heads up. The worst thing you could do is get pregnant, because that's when it all changes, rearranges, and it was just like, it was a pushback, it was an attitude. And again, here we are years later, and I guarantee you, in this present moment, somewhere within her, she's probably like, Kayla tried to warn me. But haven't people tried to warn us too? Like, I'm not trying to sit up here like we're any different. There were times that people have warned us about what we were getting ourselves into, but we had to go and learn it for ourselves, right? So that's the moral of this story, is like allowing things to be what they're going to be, trusting that within the right time, everything will be shown for what it truly is, right? With my daughter's sexual abuse case with my ex-in-laws, at that time, it was dismissed and all of that, and that really made me feel defeated, because CPS had already made their judgment and declared that it was. And then it just got dismissed and dropped when it got to grand jury because of her age. That's what they told me, because she was 3, 4. It's like, oh, yeah, no. What? Okay. All right. I went through years. It's been like 5 of ups and downs, hell and high water. I've moved from place to place because I've literally been threatened for my life, because I wanted to protect my child. And I didn't get it. For those years, I'm like, why? This is so unfair. Like, I'm just trying to do what is right. And why is everybody telling me that they don't care about what's right? They just want things how they want them, to follow, to go along with some sort of I'm not about to be a part of nobody's lie, conspiracy agenda. I don't care if it happens to everybody and everybody's family. It's not happening in mine. Not without me speaking up and doing something about it, right? Years of feeling like, God, this is unfair. And when are people going to see the truth? Because I got made out to be this and that and this and that. Y'all, I probably can only guess 20% of the nasty things that people have probably made me out to be, just to make themselves look credible. And I've just had to sit here and continue to grow and heal and come more into my authenticity, to realize 5 years later that these people, they will never change. They are who they are, and that will always reflect in their life and their reality at some point, because you can only fake it and make it for so long before the truth of the foundation that you're building on becomes like exposed, becomes like it comes to the surface. What's done in the dark comes to light, and reality will clearly reflect who is who and what played what role in that situation. I don't need to explain. I don't need to break a person down. I don't need to sit up here and clown nobody, because life speaks for itself. And everything that I felt I needed to defend myself on, or, go the extra mile, it's unnecessary. People will dig the hole themselves, and then they will get stuck in it to the point where there's no other choice but everyone to see it for what it is. So people can dress it up all day. They can make it look fancy and fulfilling, but time always tells. And you may not get that answer. You may not see the truth right in the thick of it, but later on you will. And by then, the damage is already done. There's no going back on that, because the truth is always going to be the truth. So, our second key word is soften. And the trigger statement for soften is I take control. While the true statement says I am compassionate. There's nothing that you need to do. The greatest karma comes from God. As much as we think that we can control and take charge and do this and do that, God is ultimately in control, and there's nothing that you need to do, because again, people and things will get shown for what they truly are at the right time. And that also connects to you too. You were not getting the credit, and you were not being validated and appreciated in the ways that you know you're deserving of in the past, because the timing was not right. Because what was being looked up to, what was being clout chased and pumped up to be put on a pedestal, a perfection, it was a lie and it was an illusion. And you don't fit in that. You don't fit in that. You're too real for that shit. And if the main focus is to continue living in this state of illusion, of a lie, of praising things that are really not the healthiest, you didn't fit in that. And now you're starting to see and realize that, because look how things are changing, rearranging. People want real shit now. People want real people with real experiences. Doesn't matter how much time you spent studying this and doing that. Have you lived it? Have you experienced it? Do you really know what it's about? That's where you come into play, and that's where these opportunities and these doorways open up to you, because you're real. You're the truth. And what's real and authentic, baby, that's quality. That's in it for the long run. So sit back and relax and chill. God got everything under control. All you got to do is just allow, understand, and accept what things are and when it's time for them to go. Because they're just making room for what you truly desire and what will truly bring you the fulfillment that you seek. Okay? So the message behind soften says, take a moment and allow yourself to see things from your heart center. From that place, allow your intuition to guide you. Trust and know. When your intuition, when you get that inner knowing and understanding of what something is, again, you may want to question, and it's okay to go through the process. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, is this right or wrong? Is this healthy for you or is it not? Is it something that's going to support you and set you up for success later on down the road? Or is it something that's going to hold you back and drag you down? Is it something you can learn from, grow from, and improve from? Or is it something that you have to teach and be, a parent to? It's something to think about. We're working smarter, not harder. Working smarter, not harder. At this point in your life and everything that you done come through, I'm not sitting here about to hold nobody's hand. No, you keep up. You keep up. We've been training for this track race, if you ain't been putting in the work on off season, I'm not about to sit here and hold your hand so that we can cross the finish line together. No, you do your part, I do my part, and we gonna cross that thing together. And if you can't, again, I'm not slowing myself down to catch you up. You should have been there the whole time anyways, okay, whatever. So we gonna get into these cards, see what's going on, and finish with an oracle. All right, let's see what's going on. Overall energy, we have the moon. The moon. Secrets, maybe I don't want that over there. Secrets, again, what's done in the dark always comes to light. This just happens to be one of those times where things are coming to the surface. And they're coming in such a way that, again, you could have never imagined. Like I told you about my daughter's story, like when I was served that injustice, it really just made me feel like, what the fuck? Like, if no one's gonna stand up for this and they have evidence and they know that it was wrong, like, what, like, then what's the point? But then God was like, no, Kayla, keep going. Because the point was, by me continuing to move forward, heal, understand, I was able to be put in this place to help other people who go through this. Like, yes, it is something that happens to a lot of people, but it should not be the norm. You know what I mean? And again, like, your purpose lies within your experiences that you've gone through. It's just about you sharing and expressing that in a way that truly connects to who you are, so people can see you. So you are being shown and you are being exposed, but your beauty that radiates from within is something that people need. You are something and someone that people need, not want, need. You nourish the soul. And everybody that doubted that and underestimated that and took that for granted, and you, like, that warmth that you bring to people, oh, you're about to bring it to a lot more. And then the ones who were used to getting it are about to be like, oh. Which brings me, I wrote some little notes here, but I was channeling a message while I was getting ready. And what I got is someone was not expecting you to leave them behind. And because of this underestimation, is that a word? I don't know, but we're going to go with it. Underestimation. This person lost you for good. And I mean, for some of you, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you may think that they have not lost you for good. But by the time whatever this is, you're going to be like, what? Okay. I've been there, done that. All right. I've been headstrong. Be like, no, I'm going to be with them. And it's just like, oh, hell no. They can kick rocks if they think I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, anyways, the energy is heavy, okay, for them. They're like very much in their emotions right now, and you could be feeling some of the effects of that in an energetic sense. You may have moments of just like feeling emotional or not understanding, why you feel this or think this. I feel like there's still some sort of energetic tie, because this person, whether this was, again, romantic or platonic, this was a soulmate connection. So this person was serving a purpose within your life. And again, this is where I'm gonna bust some bubbles. They have served their purpose, baby. You have learned the lesson because you've already detached and moved away from them. Again, whether you wanted to or not, the lesson has been learned. The only thing that can furthermore come from this is pain. And that is optional at this point in your life. It's all based off of your choices. So if you want to choose that person and deal with, like the same old, but it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse because it's not anything that they're going to do different. They're going to do the same shit. These people, they're the same. And it's going to be different and worse for you because you are going to, if you were to, you would be in that situation with that person knowing that you could have had better if you would have just kept moving forward. Right? We don't want to live in that state of shoulda, coulda, woulda. We've been there where we've taken these people back, went back to these situations, and seen off bat that nothing has changed. But you have. And that's where you cannot not give yourself credit for. This is not the time to talk yourself down and devalue yourself just to place it back somewhere that you have outgrown. Okay, I know that those were your favorite pair of shoes. But if your foot has grown, you better not go stuff them toes in that little ass shoe, or you're going to have to deal with the consequences. Okay. And it's really not cute. And it's really not comfortable. Now, if they cannot keep up and match what you done built and what you done created and where you at right now, it's a no. And now's the perfect time to make those choices and those decisions, because I understand if you're a person like me, you don't want to get up there and then start looking like you're stunting on people, like you just got all Hollywood and don't care about people. That's always been my fear, of being the center of attention or having some sort of growth. It's like, I don't want people to be like, oh, Kayla switched up. No, because that's what they always say about celebrities, right? Like, oh, they got money and they don't care about No, maybe their family started acting a complete fool just with a little bit, that they knew that they were not deserving of a lot. You know, people will always try to paint those narratives and those perspectives and those pictures just to suit what they want to be their reality, because it makes them feel better at the end of the night. But not really, because again, the truth remains. No matter how much a person wants to make you out to be who they're trying to tell and portray to everyone else, they still got to go to sleep knowing that you still who you truly are, and nothing that they can say, do, or change in your reality will like alter that. Right? So if there's any low vibrational person here that is still able to comprehend the message at this point, please understand that it's in us, it's not on us. This is not nothing that we just changed, baby. We're made like this. It's a soul thing, you know? So there's always going to be disappointment around that. And a card just like randomly fell. Hold on. Hindering health. Someone is trying to block your root or sacral chakra. Unhealthy diets, drink water. Okay. And then we have guilty. Maybe someone's trying to put you, you could be experiencing like sicknesses, I don't know. You know, like a cold, flu. I just got over bronchitis, so it could be something fucking random like that. But I feel like someone is trying to manipulate your energy or your environment so that you can be in a very vulnerable state of like opening yourself back up to the connection. All right, we have the World, and it kind of came out upside down, but I don't do reversals. Yeah, so there's a completion here. Like I just mentioned, you have ended, you're done, you're over something, you have moved forward, and someone's like, no, like we got to get this going again. It was literally like this. So looking out for emotional manipulation, someone who love bombs or wants to love bomb you, or come back. Can y'all hear my throat? Barely making it here. Someone wants to come offer you something, but it's going to be like extremely too much off bat. Yeah. So it goes back to the beginning of like me giving the examples of like salvaging a relationship or a friendship. How I said for me and my friend, like it has taken us over the span of 2 years, like since COVID hit, we've been like rebuilding that connection, and it's taken time and patience on my end, because I have to allow her the space to heal and understand it and see it in the way that she needs to continue, you know, moving forward in a healthy sense. And that's what I'm saying, like 2 years later, yeah, we just talked about it the other day, and I'm always going to be in a place of communicating whatever is needed within that friendship, because at the end of the day, that's what I owe, right? Now, that's another thing that my wife and I will speak on. We are dropping our podcast in a few days, so be on the lookout for that. But we were talking about how you deal with people who, I don't know. Oh my God. Okay, I went blank. But what we were talking about the other day was being in a place of forgiveness, right? If you forgive somebody, that means if you forgive someone and choose to proceed with the connection or the relationship, at some point you have to be willing to let it go. Like, you cannot hang it over someone's head. So if you feel like you cannot move forward with a person without it affecting every thought or every feeling that you have, like, I told you guys this example, but like in my first relationship ever, he came back a couple of years later, and I was like, you know what, I can see that you've changed in some kind of way, but like, I will never be able to trust you, you know, like, I just don't want to set myself up for the rest of my life in a situation where if you come home late or you don't text me back, I'm gonna go back to the space in my mind of like, is he cheating again? You know? So like, the trust was too broken for me to want to even put in the energy and effort to like repair that. No, I would rather just move forward in a healthier situation with someone that like didn't give me a reason to not trust them, you know? So if you move forward and you're not able to let things go and you're going to continuously hang it over a person's head, whether they have changed or not, because some people make mistakes, and that's what I'm saying. If they continuously prove to you that they're not choosing and being that person, then you have to let that go. So you have every right to be on guard in the beginning. But if a person keeps showing you that they have made changed behavior, you have to let it go, or you have to choose to let them go and move forward, because it's something that you just cannot let go. Does that make sense? But if you can, then it's moving forward without even letting that cause any sort of like disconnection or dysfunction. And in my situation, again, me and my friend, we were speaking on this the other day because a conversation that we were having went into the time period that she was not a part of my life. So I had to then go and fill her in of like 3-4 years that she was not able to have access to me. And then it piqued the conversation of like, yeah, you know, like it sucks because I really want to be around during that time, and you know, but it's also understanding that everything happens for a reason. And I definitely think that we've grown and gotten to the place that we have now. I think like we're definitely back to normal again. I talk to her every day. That's my girl. You know, keep it real, keep it authentic. You have to check motives. Me and her just had that conversation too. Like, within the people that you connect with, you have to be mindful of people's motives. Like, why would they want to connect with you? What do you relate on? What do you have that each other can, you know, benefit or gain from? It's the balance, and that doesn't have to be money, resources, or material. But like, I know that she's there, and she knows that I'm here when we really need it, when we just need that moment, you know? So you have the king. After the King of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. This is you taking a new step, or taking a step into a new direction, into a new life, into a new mindset and perspective. And it's like you're free. It's being back at the beginning again of having like this innocence that you had as a child. See, the devil tried to take it away from you, and you're about to get it restored with the Tower. Because some foundation, whether this is years ago or your whole life, the truth is going to be exposed around people's motives and what has kept it like moving forward. Like, there's a lie here that has been happening for a long time, and someone really thought that they were going to get away with it because they've been manipulating energy and trying to keep you from going into this new place in your life where you actually see the truth and how people and things have ultimately been trying to slow you down from that. That is interesting. So let's get into this oracle reading, and we're going to wrap it up because I'm supposed to be at the gym by now. Okay. Ooh, perfect. We have a mask. A mask. Let's see. Number 18 is a 9. I told you, you're done with this. You're done with this person. And if you're not, you're going to be. You're going to be like, what the? I ain't got to deal with this. All right. It says, where is the lie? Get quiet to get clear. Put your hand on your heart. Now, are you confused or are you afraid? Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The embodiment message, goodness, says, show your true face. Wearing a mask blocks your vulnerability and blessings. If you are wearing a mask, dare to reveal yourself. You are lying to others and to yourself. Wearing a mask is exhausting you. Be you. If someone else is wearing a mask with you, you deserve clarity. Your relationship and connection is built on lies. Their mask is a projection of your own. The declaration says, I am willing to remove the mask. So for you, like I said, with this person, I know a lot of people don't care to hear about past people. Like, I'll move forward. Okay. But the lesson in the energetic connection that is still there is there for a reason. Again, you may not understand it right now, but you will later. And in this case, there's something, and that's what I picked up with this channel message. This person is still relevant because they had such an impact in your life. There's still something that is keeping you from your confidence. Not, obviously you have the confidence there, right? People are intimidated by that already, but there's some more fierceness behind that. There's some more groundedness and rootedness behind that. And it makes me think about last night. What was it? Rick James. Is it Rick James? Dang it. I don't know. I think it's Rick James. Hold on. Babe, remember last night was we watching Rick James? Is it Rick James? Is that the guy? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about Rick James. We seen a video of him, and it was like his confidence, like his certainty, like the winner is me. Like, I'm the winner. Like, I run this shit. Like, I did this shit. I started this. Like, that's the type of energy. Not so much out there, because I feel like you're definitely like classy and elegant within your vibe, but just this confidence of like owning your shit and being proud of it. Like, yep, that's me. And if you don't know about me, you gonna know about me. You know, somebody been trying to hold you back from just feeling that, and it's taking up space, taking off a mask. I'm not sitting here about to hide and humble myself and be quiet and not speak the way that I speak to make somebody else feel good. Like I said 2 sessions ago, I realized, or maybe it was 2 sessions ago, I realized that I'm here to trigger people. I'm not here to treat you. Okay, this ain't no trigger treat. I'm here to trigger you. And either I'm gonna trigger people into like a lower vibration by them like being triggered and not knowing how to heal how to heal, or choose better from it, or I'm going to trigger you and it's going to show you a different way to move forward into fulfillment for yourself. So when I learned that, I realized like, oh, I'm not here to be liked by everybody. Everybody doesn't like me. And it's such an exhausting task to try to be liked by people, again, who don't even like themselves. I say it all the time. I'm not on YouTube to get every view, to get every subscriber, because a lot of these people, they don't get it. They ain't real. I don't know about to sit here and be no fake and phony ass person. At the end of the day, I'm a real person. Whether you see me on the screen or whether you see me in real person, like in real life, you're going to get the same person. Okay? You're never going to meet me and be like, oh, she's not the same. She's different. No, because I've met plenty of people like that. And you've met plenty of people like that who go and they're like, oh my God. Da, da, da. It's like the news reporters that they show, like, and I'm not talking down on news reporters. I'm just saying like how they, they're real chill and relaxed, and then they get on the microphone and they're like, yeah, it's like that. Like, no, I talk like this. I act like this. I'm crazy like this. I say shit like this in real time, So be that. Be you. because obviously it got you here watching my video this long or again, so my authenticity connects to you. And if you're a real ass person, that's what this is about. That's how we keep the wheel going. Okay, so I love y'all. Keep your head up. Don't give in to these people who ain't got nothing going or got nothing to lose, because you do. Right? I will check in a few days for our next session, but if you want to book a private, I'll get on that now, because after I'm sold out for December, I don't know when I'm coming back for privates. Okay, so love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.